last question here on exercise before we move on. Um, it's one you've kind of talked about in various forms, but I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of knock it out in another setting just based on this thread, which is this user said, I'm consistently conflicted about how to approach the second half of my life. On one hand, I hear a lot about calorie restriction being a key driver to longevity. On the other hand, I hear about maintaining muscle mass as a key driver. For me, it seems to be like one or the other. They said they're a naturally lanky person and calorie restriction seems to prevent them from gaining much strength and muscle. But when they ramp up their calories, they can put on some muscle, but they're not getting the benefits of calorie restriction. So the kind of overarching question is, how do you think about calorie restriction, muscle building for a person from a longevity perspective? And does that change if you're 30, 50, 70? And on top of that, even, does it change based on your body type? If you're someone who is naturally lanky that has a hard time putting on muscle versus someone who is more muscular?
Yeah, I think this is a very good question, and there's a lot embedded within it. I think that in no particular order, taking some of those issues, I think the older you are, the more important it is to emphasize anything that's going to allow you to maintain and build strength and maintain muscle mass. So that would make me very reluctant to put an excess fasting routine in place for somebody like that, especially if they're not heavy to begin with, which of course then gets to the second equally important consideration, which is the big part of this is body composition, right? So if you're talking about somebody who's got, 35% body fat, insulin resistance, I think fasting is a very effective tool, and it's okay that they're going to probably lose a little bit of lean mass because they're probably going to lose more fat mass along the way. If you're talking about somebody like this who's kind of lanky, I'm going to lean my dial more towards not fasting so much, or if you're going to fast, do it very intermittently. And I don't mean IF in the way people talk about intermittent fasting. I mean, maybe once a quarter you do a short fast for 3 days or something like that. But I think most of the time should be really focused on building. So as you get older, I think building becomes more important. The leaner you are, building becomes more important.
Yeah. And you kind of hinted at it there, but a lot of times people interchange the word fasting with other things. So when you said earlier, like you went to an excess fasting regimen, what is that? Are you talking 12 hours, 24 hours, 72 hours, or kind of how do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't think we really know what's long and what's, I mean, we sort of know extremes. Like I know 12 hours is not a fast, and I know that 5 days is a fast. Does one meal a day constitute fasting? I don't think so. The problem with one meal a day for most people, if they're trying to put on muscle mass, it's pretty darn hard to eat 2 grams per kilo of protein in one sitting. So I believe that, OMADs and things like that are generally going to come at the expense of muscle mass, not because muscle protein synthesis can't take place if you're smart about where you target and time your exercise, but because I simply think most people are protein deficient when they do it. I think it becomes a bit of a protein sparing diet. And I think, again, great idea if you're overweight and insulin resistant, not a great idea if you're lean.
Yeah. So you're putting a lot more emphasis on the protein consumption. So you would say to someone, look, if you were working out trying to put on muscle and you were waiting, you were not eating for 12 hours of the day, as long as within those 12 hours you're eating, you can consume the protein you need, you're probably less worried as opposed to someone who so it's not necessarily, in other words to say, it's not necessarily the amount of time you're not eating, it's more so, is the protein throughout the day you're consuming enough to build that muscle?
That's right.
Thank you for listening to today's sneak peek AMA episode of The Drive. If you're interested in hearing the complete version of this AMA, you'll want to become a member. We created a membership program to bring you more in-depth exclusive content without relying on paid ads. Membership benefits are many, and beyond the complete episodes of the AMA each month, they include the following: ridiculously comprehensive podcast show notes that detail every topic, paper, person, and thing we discuss on each episode of The Drive. Access to our private podcast feed, The Qualies, which are a super short podcast, typically less than 5 minutes, released every Tuesday through Friday, which highlight the best questions, topics, and tactics discussed on previous episodes of The Drive. This is particularly important for those of you who haven't heard all of the back episodes. It becomes a great way to go back and filter and decide which ones you want to listen to in detail. Really steep discount codes for products I use and believe in, but for which I don't get paid to endorse, and benefits that we continue to add over time. If you want to learn more and access these member-only benefits, head over to peterattiamd.com/subscribe. Lastly, if you're already a member, but you're hearing this, it means you haven't downloaded our member-only podcast feed where you can get the full access to the AMA and you don't have to listen to this. You can download that at peterattiamd.com/members. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, all with the ID Peter Attia MD. You can also leave us a review on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcast player you listen on. This podcast is for general informational purposes only and does not constitute the practice of medicine, nursing, or other professional healthcare services, including the giving of medical advice. No doctor-patient relationship is formed. The use of this information and the materials linked to this podcast is at the user's own risk. The content on this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Users should not disregard or delay in obtaining medical advice from any medical condition they have, and they should seek the assistance of their healthcare professionals for any such conditions. Finally, I take conflicts of interest very seriously. For all of my disclosures and the companies I invest in or advise, please visit peterattiamd.com/about, where I keep an up-to-date and active list of such companies.